Can a chiropractor fix your scoliosis? Scoliosis is the development of an unnatural sideways spinal curvature. The curvature typically also rotates into the concavity of the scoliosis, making it a true three-dimensional spinal condition. Scoliosis is also progressive. It's unfortunately in its nature to worsen over time. Now, unfortunately, scoliosis, the severity of scoliosis can range anywhere from mild to moderate to severe to very severe. We know scoliosis is not a static condition, so where it is at the time of diagnosis isn't indicative of where it would stay. Scoliosis severity is typically determined by a patient's Cobb angle, which is measured on a scoliosis X-ray. A patient's Cobb angle is a measurement attained during a scoliosis X-ray, and a Cobb angle is determined by drawing lines from the topmost tilted vertebra to the bottommost tilted vertebra, and it's measuring the tilt between each vertebra. And the tilt is measured in something called degrees, and this results in the Cobb angle. The higher the Cobb angle, the more severe the scoliosis is, and meaning the further out of alignment, the greater curve that exists. The more likely the curve will also cause notable effects to the body is also related to the size of Cobb angle. So a more severe Cobb angle, you're more likely to see more differences in symmetry and posture and cause more problems than you will with a smaller or a mild scoliosis. Now, we know scoliosis is a progressive condition, and we know scoliosis cannot be cured, but we also know scoliosis is highly treatable. And there's two main approaches when it comes to managing or treating scoliosis. One, as I like to call it, is traditional approaches, and these are typically treatments that are normally managed by orthopedic surgeons in the United States. In the United States, most scoliosis is being managed by an orthopedic surgeon. They normally have what we call traditional style of treatments. In this traditional approaches, they have their surgical type of treatments and their conservative style treatments, which we'll talk about in a second. There's a second branch of treatment, and I would call this a modern conservative treatment. Modern conservative treatment are typically managed by non-surgeons, and they're normally involving multiple treatment options, meaning using therapy, rehabilitation, exercises, and bracing. So even though traditional treatment options have a conservative program, the conservative program tends just to funnel people towards surgery, where true modern conservative treatment, the goal is actually curve reduction. So when we know traditional treatment is offered by surgeons, it's normally not a corrective style of treatment. It's more of just trying to hope that we can slow it down and delay surgery as long as possible, where true modern conservative treatments are looking for a reduction in the scoliosis. And this reduction, or this trying to improve the size of the scoliosis, is what I like to call a chiropractic-centered approach. And the reason why I call it a chiropractic-centered approach is because chiropractors are typically always interested in reducing or improving what's causing the scoliosis from worsening. So when we look at whether a chiropractor can actually reduce or manage a scoliosis, to be real clear, there's not one form of treatment that I believe is enough to correct a scoliosis. But when you combine many treatment options into a program to help reduce a scoliosis, chiropractic care can be an integral part in actually improving scoliosis on a structural level. However, just chiropractic care alone, just general chiropractic care, may not be near as effective if the chiropractic care is not scoliosis specific, meaning a chiropractor can adjust patients or take care of patients that have scoliosis, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're trying to reduce or manage their scoliosis. They're taking care of the symptoms of the scoliosis. However, if they're chiropractors that are trained to actually manage scoliosis, can use treatments and methods and methodologies that are actually going to manage the scoliosis, not the symptoms of the scoliosis. So a scoliosis chiropractor typically applies a number of techniques, not just traditional chiropractic adjustments, and actually helping improve the shape of the scoliosis and making the Cobb angle actually decrease on an X-ray. Now, with not only using chiropractic techniques, times like adjusting or therapy, there are many other forms of treatments that I like to combine with chiropractic care to actually start to see structural results on a scoliosis. And one of these things tends to be therapy and rehabilitation. Therapy and rehabilitation done in a scoliosis type of clinic are normally therapies and rehabs that are used to help push and align the spine into a straighter alignment. And normally these therapies therapies can be passive in nature, using combinations of different tractions and therapies and rehabilitations that are going to help realign the spine. In addition, we can use active exercises like neuromuscular education, like vibration therapy, like mirror image exercises to help manage and reduce the scoliosis at an asymmetrical level to help improve strength. And then also, in particularly in treating children, but also in adults, in many cases, we'll design scoliosis braces. Now, these braces are corrective in nature, and they're normally designed with the therapy, the rehab, and the exercises that the patient's performing to help reduce the scoliosis as well. And then last thing is that we can take as much as we can out of the in-office treatment, and we provide home rehabilitation and therapy where a patient can provide themselves their own treatment doing home therapy and rehabilitation. So when we look at a true scoliosis treatment approach, chiropractic care can be an integral part in actually helping improve and manage the scoliosis. But understand that chiropractic care must be scoliosis specific, meaning if you're having back pain and the patient and you're being adjusted by a chiropractor to help improve the pain associated with your scoliosis, the pain may be improving, but the scoliosis may not be, because a lot of times patients with chiropractic care can feel better, but the curve can unfortunately still be worsening. So we know patients or doctors that actually focus specifically on scoliosis normally don't limit themselves to just traditional chiropractic adjusting, but they only use a combination of many therapies and rehabilitation exercises and bracing and home therapy to reduce the size of curve, to actually make this conservative approach not just trying to slow down the progression, but the goal is actually to reduce the scoliosis on a structural level on the X-ray. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this information helpful. If you'd like to hear about other topics and information on scoliosis, type in the comments below and let us know. And finally, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of when we publish content. Thanks.